As we say goodbye to 2024 and step into 2025, I can't help but reflect upon how my spiritual practice has changed over the last year. It's been a mix of deep dives, experiments, wins, and lessons learned. And today, I want to share that journey with you. We'll talk about what worked, where I struggled, and how I plan on shaping my practice over the next year. So, whether you're here for some inspiration or even just some solidarity, or if you just want to see kind of what chaos my spiritual practice went through, you're welcome here. So grab a cozy drink, get your snacks, and let's get to it. At the beginning of 2024, my word of the year was vanquish. I wanted to overcome the obstacles I had been facing in my journey over the past several years. And I really just wanted to gain mastery over the things that I felt were holding me back. I envisioned more standing up for myself, more destroying bad habits, and clearing a path for new, good, positive habits. I wanted less making excuses, less being fearful, and definitely less staying in my comfort zone. Looking back, I do think I was very successful in this, though maybe not in the way I initially planned. I had thought that over the course of 2024, I would be able to create more discipline through just sheer willpower. I didn't really have a plan for how that looked to me, but the path I ended up taking actually ended up to be a lot more transformative to my life as a whole. One of the biggest changes was facing a major shift in my source of income. As I've discussed here on the channel before, I had been full-time dog walking for a little while now, and that's just a job where there's not much consistency. Every day is so different. The times I have to be at people's places is different. The number of clients per day is different, and there's all that drive time in between my different stops throughout the day. Sometimes my day started at 8 a.m., sometimes it ended at 11 p.m. And all of that left a very inconsistent schedule that was really difficult to schedule and plan around. And I'm happy to say now that most of my income comes from remote work. This change has given me a lot more consistency that I really need in order to sustain my own creative endeavors. And it's allowing me for the first time to really create some structures and systems in place to keep myself on track. The last couple of months of 2024 have been especially positive with this new shift. I feel like I finally have built up some momentum to carry myself into the new year, where normally around this time I feel like I'm drowning. And I'm actually feeling more inspired and motivated than ever. And as you can see, I might be back creating content again. Two of my goals for 2024 were to establish a daily practice and to also experiment more with deity work. This actually led me to take the Socery of Hekate course by Jason Miller. I signed up for the course right at the beginning of the new year as sort of a gift to myself for the holidays, and also an investment into my practice. The course was a perfect blend of what I was seeking. A focus on daily practice, but also tethered to a deity. And it is an incredibly dense course, full of wisdom and practical exercises designed to really build a meaningful relationship with Hekate and the spirits that surround her. When I first started, I approached the course kind of like a podcast. It's done with audio recordings, so I was hoping to just kind of absorb the information. But here's the thing about courses like this, especially Jason Miller's, they're not just about listening, they're about doing. And to really get the most out of it, you need to commit at least 5 minutes a day. Honestly, probably more like 30 if you want to get the full benefit of the course. And let's be honest, my consistency wasn't exactly award-winning. Life was chaotic. My work schedule, as I said, was all over the place. There was family events, friend events. I was traveling a lot. So sticking to a routine felt really impossible. The results that I did see were incredibly fascinating, especially as somebody who tends to approach things with a bit of skepticism. And I am planning on retaking the course now that my life has gone to a more day-to-day predictable rhythm. And this time I am ready to really show up to the course, and I've even created some tools and structures to help me stay on track. Another really cool experience that I had this year was taking the Living Witchcraft course, which is done through the Order of Chaos here on YouTube, hosted by Sanhre. Sanhre is a fantastic creator. I definitely recommend his content, and the Living Witchcraft course has now become a monthly subscription called Occult University. I definitely recommend it. Check it out. So if Socery of Hekate was more about depth and structure, Living Witchcraft with the Order of Chaos was more about expansion and experimentation. It introduced me to chaos magic and really got me to think outside of my box of my own personal practice, which had become very passive, very informal, and almost like folk magic-y. And that's not a bad thing. I am just still in the process where I tend to get too comfortable and then I don't grow anymore. So I really am at this point where I want to seek new things, new experiences, and grow as a spiritual practitioner. One of the most valuable things I gained from taking the Living Witchcraft course was also just a renewed appreciation for working with a community. As someone who tends to go solo in their practice, it was really nice to work alongside and learn alongside people with similar goals to me. Towards the end of the year, after taking a bit of a break from Socery at Hekate, I did start reprioritizing a daily practice. Meditating and journaling in particular have become cornerstones of my routine. And now if you know me, I have some heavily unmedicated ADHD. Which means that routines are not my strong suit, and I really, really struggle with things like meditation. But I have found some tools that have really helped me try to be consistent and honestly just make it easier for me. Because right now, everything needs to be easy. It just needs to be as easy as possible so I can start adding these habits to my daily routine, and then I can up the difficulty later. But right now, to be consistent, it just has to be easy. Guided meditations are one thing I've been trying, and my friend Brennan of the Woods did just release a fantastic Druidic guided meditation. I'll link it as well down in the description. And also moving meditations. I find that I can help focus a little more if my body is kept busy, so to speak. Another system that has really helped me with my journaling is using the Capacities app. Capacities is a digital app that lets me journal in a way that feels natural, and it also allows me to tag thoughts, feelings, symbols, as well as objects, and I'm able to kind of see them all connect to each other almost like a bird's eye view. It's been a extremely effective way to track patterns and symbols throughout my magical practice. And honestly, I think it's my favorite digital grimoire system to date. So if this sounds interesting, let me know and maybe we'll do a video about it. So now my goals for 2025. First up is continue to add to my daily practice. Looking ahead to 2025, my biggest goal is to create a consistent, effective, and repetitive daily practice. Meditation in particular is something I want to continue to grow. I still struggle with sitting kind of still meditations, and that is something that I want to improve on. I would love to work up to a 30-minute meditation a day. And to get there, I will be rereading some books about meditation that have some great exercises to kind of help me stay focused when I am sitting. I'll have some mental exercises maybe going. And I'll also be using some tools such as like meditation beads and things like that to help me stay focused. Goal number 2 is to implement more dream magic. I'm really excited to deepen my dream work. It is something that has been on my list for forever, and I really struggled with gaining this skill because when I was younger, I had reoccurring nightmares, and part of me kind of shut off dreaming, or at least remembering the dreams when I woke up. So it's taken me years to even just get to a point where I can actually remember my dreams again. So now I've been consistently journaling, logging my dreams, and this has helped me really with dream recall. I would love to get to the point where I'm able to lucid dream, but I know that that's a long-term goal. So for now, I will stick on being able to consistently record my dreams day to day, and also to start experimenting maybe with taking certain herbs and so on before I go to sleep, maybe doing specific meditations before sleep and so on, spell work, etc. So goal number 3, reconnect with deity work. While I already work with spirits, local spirits, animal spirits, plant spirits in particular, there's something about mythology that has just really always drawn me in. Books like Circe and Song of Achilles have reignited that spark for me this year. I've also been rereading the Percy Jackson series, and yes, while childish, they're fun and I love it. So retaking the Sorcery of Hekate course will definitely be a part of this for me, and I'm really committed to going deeper this time around. I also would love experimenting with other deities that I've always had interest with. Goal number 4 is to regain my love of seasonal magic. One of the things I've noticed over the years is that my celebrations of the Sabbats in particular have kind of lost their magic. What used to be joyful rituals has started kind of feeling just like another day or another chore, and I don't want to live that way. The Sabbats were one of the first things that drew me to spirituality. They made life feel more magical, and they really helped me find beauty in every season, which as somebody who suffers with seasonal depression, winter, I'm looking at you. I really I just really struggled with some times of the year. And working with the Sabbats gave me something to look forward to in the wintertime. So I really just want to reclaim that sense of wonder and gratitude and just enjoyment of the changing seasons. I want to celebrate them in a way that works for me, that doesn't feel like work, but is instead something that is exciting and fun and different and stands out over the day-to-day of the rest of the year. I want it to feel just special. All right, so if I had to sum it up, I'd say that 2024 was kind of a tower card year, but maybe not in the way that it's usually seen. I had to destroy what wasn't serving me anymore so that I could clear the space for the life I wanted to create. It was about experimenting, learning, and figuring out what works for me. 2025, on the other hand, is going to be about consistency and mastery. It's building a solid structural foundation that will continue to benefit me for years and years ahead. It's about showing up for my practice every day, not just when it's convenient or when I'm inspired. And most importantly, it's also about doing magic for myself. As much as I love sharing my practice, there's something just deeply fulfilling about keeping pieces of it just for me. And it's a way to stay connected to the heart of why I practice in the first place. Thank you for joining me on this reflection of 2024 and looking ahead at what 2025 is hopefully going to bring. If you've had similar experiences or want to share your goals, please do so in the comments. I'd love to hear them. So here's to a magical 2025 for all of us. And until I see you next time, stay wild.